think I matched it up there pretty good. Yeah, all right. Okay. Lesson 5, using the identity and inverse to write equivalent expressions. Okay, people. So really what we're doing here is we're simplifying, all right? A very generic term we use a lot. And we're just using some of our properties here because they are going to start to show up a lot more. So it's kind of like, hey, remember us? We talked about us back over here. We're about to use you over here, so let's remind you about them here. All right, so let's scan on down. Let's get into the good stuff here. All right. Okay, so, all right, yeah, this is a nice spot. So it's here. We're finding the sum. So we know that the word and is where the addition sign is going to be at. So it's saying, hey, take 2x, add it with negative 2x plus 3, and then add it with the 5x. All right, so what we're using here is, opposites. All right, 2x and negative 2x are opposites. So when we combine opposites together, we always get 0. That's the additive inverse they're getting after here. So by doing that, if I notice the opposites, I can combine them right away. It speeds things up, so it's just 5x plus 3. Because again, 2x combined with the negative 2x is a 0. All right. I need to add the 2x minus 7, and I'm going to add it with, there's the and, the opposite of 2x. Well, the opposite of 2x is a negative 2x. We like the parentheses here because remember, we don't like two symbols up against each other. But we notice, yeah, bye-bye, just the negative 7 for our answer. All right. And then what is the opposite of the 5x minus 1? Well, there's two people that are there. So if we're going to write this out mathematically, it looks like this. And if we take what we've done in previous lessons, that's the distributing of the negative. So that's what's going on. Now, can you just look at that and be like, well, the opposite is negative 5x plus 1. Absolutely, we can do that. So I don't need that in-between step there, but just showing you where things are coming from. All right. Here we go. We're same directions, writing it as the sum. So there's our word and. We're going to jump to letter C here. So there's where my addition sign is. So it's really this. I don't need parentheses because it's an addition sign. That's kind of where we want to start getting you comfortable with. I'm noticing that there are opposites, so my answer is just a 1. All right. Letter D, the opposite of 4x, and we want to combine it with the negative 5 plus 4x. Okay, remember, directions are the same, so and is the sum. So it's opposite of 4x, so it's negative 4x. Again, I'm adding it with the negative 5 plus 4x. It's an addition problem. I don't need to bring out the parentheses. Hello, opposites. So let's welcome our answer of negative 5. All right, that's kind of where they're going at with this. All right, so that's enough of those guys. Let's find some. Oh, let's go to F, though. Let's go to F. The opposite of, and hey, you can see, there's your parentheses. They want the opposite of all of that. Yeah, there it is. There's the opposite. Remember, and, because it was the sum. All right. All right, and then the negative 4b. Again, we like the parentheses here just because we don't like two math symbols up against each other. Again, we're noticing opposites. So, answer just a 7 that we're looking at. All right, let's see here. Here we go. Multiplicative inverse. One of my favorite phrases to say. Multiplicative. Go ahead, people. Multiplicative. All right, just, yeah, the way. All right. So, multiplicative inverse. That tells me we're going to multiply, all right? And so when I see that word and, there's my multiplication symbol. And multiplicative inverse of 1/5 is, we'll flip it. It's 5, all right? Yeah, it's 5 ones, but 5 ones is the same as 5. So it's 5 times the 2x minus 1/5. So we're going to multiply everyone by a 5. So 5 times 2x is a 10x. And then 5 times a 5th. Okay, two things. One, mental math. Poof. 1. If you need to, come off to the side. 5 over 1 times 1 over 5. Cross division. You can see, hey, that's where our 1 over 1 is coming from. And that's 5 over 1. That's there. All right. The multiplicative inverse of 2 and 2x plus 4. Okay, so the multiplicative inverse of 2, so that means it's a half inverse. We're going to flip it. We're multiplying multiplicative. I don't pass up an opportunity to say that word, people. And in here, we're going to use our distributive property. So we're taking half of something. Taking half of something is the exact same thing as dividing by 2. Yeah. So that's just an x, and that's just a plus 2. So it's just x plus 2. That's it. Let's go to I. It looks nasty. It looks bad, but watch. Multiplicative inverse of flip it, people. Flip it. So it's 3x plus 5. And we're going to multiply all of that by 1/3. Now, here's the thing. When we multiply, we're used to always seeing that number out in front and not at the tail end. Now, I can leave it here. I can put it right up against it and just realize I've got to multiply to everyone. But for a lot of you, that's going to frustrate you because it's not how we're used to seeing things. It's not how we normally write things out. So if you would like to, use your commutative property of multiplication. I can flip the order and then put down my 3x plus 5. And then I can multiply through by everyone. All right, it's going to get me the same answer there. Taking 1/3 of 3x, so 1/3 times 3x, that's just x. 1/3 of 3 is 1, so 1x. And then 1/3 of 5. Well, okay, that's not clean, but again, let's go what's going on here. If I'm doing 5 times 1/3, here we go, 5 over 1. I don't see any cross division, do you? Oh, I don't. Sorry, didn't mean to point my finger at you like that. Shaking at you. Anyway, all right. So yeah, we're going to multiply across. It's 5/3. And we can leave like that. So x plus 5/3. That's it. We're done. Show is over. All right. Write the product. Okay, this is more of what we've seen. Now, here's one thing I do want to watch for. Let's go to letter L. Okay. Multiplicative inverse of -1/6. Remember, inverse just flips it. It does not change the sign. So the multiplicative inverse of -1/6, all right, it's going to be, -6 over 1, which is the same as, yes, exactly, just like the chicken said. The chicken went right to -6. I wanted to show you the in-between step that was there. But yeah, here we go. So now I got to multiply through with the -6. So there's my -12. I got to multiply or distribute if we're going to be fancy here. I got to multiply times a fraction there. Come on, people, it's not that bad. Especially, I'm noticing that it's a multiplicative inverse here. 6 and 1/6. Yeah, so that's just 1. So it's just a 1j. Again, where's it coming from? Well, -6 over 1 times -1 over 6, cross division, multiply across, all that good stuff. All right. So yeah, 1j, which is just the same as our j. All right, people, that's what we got for you today. We're done here. We'll see you later. Sorry, I pointed my finger at you again. I'm sorry about that. I hope it didn't come across as too rough on you there, but okay. All right. I'll try to do better. All right.